Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Hello, my name is Mila Sari. I'm from group 5. In this video, I would like to describe about our paper or our research. But first of all, I would like to introduce the member of our group. There are Amanda, Muhammad Rifki, Cahya Ramadanti, and me, Mila Sari. So the title of our research is Analysis of the Effectiveness of Using Zoom as a Synchronous Learning Media. Content of the paper. There are introduction, literature review, research methodology, research finding, conclusion and suggestion, and references. So the first one is introduction. In introduction consists of background of the problem, limitation and research formulation research question, the advantage of the research, the objective of the research, and definition of term. Background of the problem. The main reason why we chose this topic because we look at current condition. As we know, nowadays we are still in the pandemic COVID-19 era. The pandemic COVID-19 had hug impact in every sector of life, such as in education sector. To prevent the spread of the COVID-19 virus in society, especially in learning activities, so the government needs to take several policies. One of the policies taken by government in the field of education is change the offline teaching and learning activities to online teaching and learning activities, or we can call that learning at home. Even though learning activities are carried out online, it's hoped that students can continue to improve their potential, abilities, and knowledge, such as in studying in class. Therefore, to support this learning activity, dynamic learning media are needed and able to explain concept material well. Effective online learning is discursive, adaptive, interactive, and reflective learning, with elements that will be very well integrated with student environment so that it can become an integrated online learning. To support online learning activities, so the teachers can use learning media such as Google Classroom, Edmodo, Genius, and Zoom Meeting, and others. Online learning media can also be accelerated to teaching and learning process, create excitement in learning activities, provide opportunities for students to interact indirectly with their friends during the online learning activities. Zoom Meeting is one of the online learning media that is often used by both teacher and student. So this study aims to determine the effectiveness of using Zoom as a synchronous learning media. Second, the research question. So the research question of this study is, how is the effectiveness of using Zoom as a synchronous learning media? The third is the advantage of the research. So the benefit of this study are to determine the effectiveness of using Zoom as a synchronous learning media so that it can help teachers to find alternative media if the Zoom is felt by the student less effective. And the fourth is the objective of the research. The objective of the research can be stated as to find out the effectiveness of using Zoom as a synchronous learning media. So I think it's enough from me, and the next part will be described by my friends. Thank you.
Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Hello everyone, my name is Rifki, and in this video I would like to do presentation to complete the presentation from the previous presenter, Mila Sari. And without any further ado, let's get started. Definition of term, literature review, and theoretical framework. That's my part to do a presentation, this thesis group presentation. So there are some definition of term in this research or this study on my group project. The first is learning media. What is learning media? Learning media is characterized as a physical or non-physical medium used by teacher to communicate information to students in a more effective and efficient manner. So, learning media is a tools that there are the concrete or unconcrete that used by teacher to make easier in doing learning activity. And then the second is Zoom. What is Zoom? Zoom is a cloud-based video conferencing service that allows you to remotely meet with others when holding live chat, and it also allows you to record those sessions to watch later. So Zoom is the conferencing service that can make you from far to be near doing live chat or meeting, and then the meeting you can save, and when you want to rewatch it, you can rewatch it later after the meeting. And next, synchronous online learning. What is synchronous online learning? Synchronous online learning means that students are required to log in and participate in class at a specific time each week. So, synchronous online learning that we are doing a virtual meeting that can make us connected from far to be near in some room in a specific time that we want to do a meeting. And next, there are literature review that make us inspired to do this research. Emerging technologies allows instructor and student as well as student to student connection in real time and or time delay alliance. Several techniques were used to deliver the distant program for a period of time from Cahya and at least 2001. So because of the develop technology from time to time, so there are some technologies that make us easier to do learning, and then there are several research before that we do. The first is first generation distance education basically depends on print-based education. Kafirman 1989, Nipper 1989. So the first online learning or remote learning, there are some researchers that doing a research before. It's about print-based education. And the second or next, where there are second generation distance study involved to print and broadcasting system. So if the first is the only print based, and then the next level there are print and broadcasting system by Peters 2002. And the last that but not least that we do right now is Zoom meeting cloud. And then our means is researcher or us or we try to make observation on learners who interact with education in learning process, so that researcher can explore their experience to obtain the necessary data or information in accordance with the theme of the study, Alexander 2011. And the last is there are theoretical framework of this thesis. This is a theoretical framework of this thesis. It's about e-learning. There are three aspects that relate by e-learning activity. There are people, technologies, and service that provided by the e-learning media. The first is people that use the learning media, like me and my friend as a student, or the employee that needs a e-learning media to maybe develop their skill or maybe some learning media. And then the second is about technologies in learning media. This is our focus. Technologies in learning media. There are the print-based, like we discussed before, and print-based and broadcasting, and then the Zoom that we do right now. And then in e-learning, there are the services. What is the services that provided by the e-learning? Of course, there are the easier that we can do learning activities, like there are some online learning provider, and or there are some cloud meeting like Zoom that we talk or we discuss right now. And then that the last of my presentation. Thank you so much for watching. I'm sorry if I'm making mistakes because I'm still in learning progress. So maybe that's enough for me. And the next presenter or the next material would be presented by Amanda. So for Amanda, time is your.
Okay, bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. My name is Amanda. Today I want to explain about our research, and my part is about research methodology. A. Research approach and method. The research method is basically a scientific way to obtain data with specific purpose and use. The method used in this research is a qualitative descriptive method. This study prioritized data collection through a questionnaire. In addition, this qualitative research is a scientific way of obtaining data collection for specific purpose and uses.
This is based on consideration that the researchers want to understand, examine in depth, and describe the phenomenon of the effectiveness of using Zoom in synchronous learning. B. Research subject. For selecting the proper subject, the researchers choose the subject based on their experience in using the Zoom application so that the subject is able to answer the question. Furthermore, the subjects were 5 students of the English Education Department of Singapore Bangsa Karawang University who had experience in using the Zoom application during synchronous learning. C. Instrument and data collection technique. Arikonto stated that instrument in collecting data is a tool that is used by researchers to help them in collecting data in order to make it more systematic and easy. It means that instrument is tools that are required to get information. Data collecting technique is an important step in research because the aim of the research is to get the data. In this research, the researchers use questionnaire to collect data. Questionnaire is the list of questions or statements that are given to participants. The researchers makes one item question to get information about the effectiveness of using Zoom application during synchronous learning based on subject's experience. So, questionnaire is used to collect data about students' perception about the effectiveness Zoom application during synchronous learning, and the kind of this instrument is direct questionnaires by giving questions to all respondents by Google Form. Research procedure and time allocation. In obtaining data, the study used a questionnaire that was distributed within 1 day by selecting subjects using random sampling technique. The following are the steps taken by researchers in conducting research. First, researchers think what to ask. 2. After thinking so that they find what to ask, the next researcher asks the research subject using Google Form as a means of giving questions to the subject online. Third, after the question is given an answer, the researcher will analyze the answer so that a conclusion can be made. And for the last, drawing conclusion is the result of research that answer the research focus based on the result of data analysis. Conclusions are presented in descriptive form based on research study.
Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. My name is Cahya Ramadanti Utami, and I will continue the presentations. The next is the sections on research findings, conclusions, and suggestions. The research uses qualitative descriptive analysis method. Qualitative descriptive analysis method is to analyze, describe, and summarize various conditions, situations from various data collected in the form of the results of interviews or observations regarding the researcher's problem that occur in the field. And then data was taken using questionnaire. The questionnaire is data collection technique that is done by giving a set of written questions to respondent to answer, which can be given in person or by post or the internet. There are 2 types of questionnaire, namely closed and open. And the next is data we're analyzing using. Data analysis using the model of Mills and Huberman, which is generally divided into 3 lines of qualitative data analysis, namely data reduction, data presentation, and conclusion drawing. Next is the result. The results of the study show that the use of Zoom media as a learning medium is quite effective, especially because Zoom is included in media that is easy to operate, has complete features, and can be used anytime or flexible. This is in line with research conducted by Firman, where students feel more comfortable to ask questions and express opinions in online lecture forums. Although 3 out of 5 participants think that they also experience problems when using Zoom media, such as unstable network and etc. And Zoom can be accessed using a mobile phone or PC, so it's make more easier. The next is conclusion and suggestions. A conclusion. From this research, it can be concluded that the use of Zoom media is as a learning medium is quite effective to use, although there are several obstacles to an unstable network and in the quiet communication tools. There are also many advantages when using Zoom media. And for the suggestions, based on the result of research analysis, such as their teachers are advised to optimize other applications that can support online learning activities. The second one is subsequent research should increase the number of participants from the wider scope in order to get better results. That's the presentation of our group of 5. Apologies for all the mistake. Thank you for watching. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.